Raw.
Good evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and tonight,
oh my God,
I am joined with a group of suspects. We got Slotitup503. Past him, someone from Kentucky. Below him, someone from somewhere in New York.
Somewhere in New York.
Mr. Fat Stax with the Great Wall of Comics below. And in the middle,
and Kentucky
we have
in the glass.
the man of the hour. We have one Mr. Taylor Winder. Taylor, how the hell are you, sir?
I'm doing well, guys. How you all doing? I had to change my name in honor of Jimmy. So
there you go. The door.
I like it.
So,
Nice.
Taylor, as I like to do with every one of these episodes, just give yourself a quick introduction for anyone that may not know you out in the in our our sphere here.
Gary's already had too much to drink.
Yeah, he's already been. Look at those eyes. He's
Jesus,
been.
I know.
I'm stone cold sober and I'm out of bourbon, so this is gonna be goddamn painful. I'm Taylor. I talk about comics. I started pretty much doing mystery books and stuff, and then I realized, man, is that good old fast. So now I just do reviews that nobody watches. So yeah,
Well,
that's kind of what I do.
But
And
the
then
reviews are fun because you get to read good comics.
yeah, that's what I realized with the boxes. I wasn't reading anything. I was just like putting them in a stack and flipping them. And I'm like, I kind of wanted to start reading books again, and so that's why I forced myself to do it by reviewing them, basically.
Let's say hi to our chat real quick. We always the ever faithful Chop and Drop. How you doing, sir? Good evening.
What's up, Chop?
Nav, how you doing, sir? Digger Jim, good to see you, buddy.
What's up, Jim?
gentlemen.
And we also have LCS Brian here. How you doing, Brian? Station, sir. And we have
What's up, Comic Journey? What's up,
Comic
Jerry?
Journey. How are you, sir? Jerry the Jitterbug. Thank you for coming in, buddy. And let's see. And Jerry the Jitterbug blew the doors off this interview show. He is gonna top out around 300 or more. He's already over 250. DJ Links.
What's up, DJ?
Mass, how you doing,
What's up,
sir?
Maz? Welcome.
So hope
It's the
everyone's
latest
doing
I've
great.
seen you on, Maz.
So Taylor, let's get into it.
All right, hit me with it.
Well, what I want to know is your t-shirt game is always on point, man. you are like the
mean, what's
t-shirt
that?
guru. Right. If nothing else is coming out of your station, you can always bet on a couple of new t-shirts coming out. What made you start designing t-shirts? Is it more of your creative outlet? Because obviously you have the art. But
Well, you guys might not know this, but I'm a dirty money loving whore, and so
No, we all know that.
yeah.
We definitely know that.
Yeah, we know.
Honestly, like I started doing t-shirts before I started doing YouTube. There's a thing called Merch by Amazon where you can just upload a bunch of shirt designs and sell on Amazon, and I started it that way. But then I realized I just wanted to have control over them and do some stuff that Amazon doesn't quite allow, or nobody would buy off Amazon. So I started doing it on my own site, pre-comics, and so I sort of like started making comic book more nerd related shirts once I started the channel. But I've been doing t-shirts for about 5 or 6 years. So I have a background in graphic design and went to school for some of it, and don't use it for a ton, but I can knock out some nerdy shirt designs pretty quickly. So.
well, you got some clever designs the way they read, so they're fun.
Yeah, I write down. I take stupid every time a stupid idea comes into my head. I write a note down of it, and I eventually I'll turn it into a shirt. So, because I figure then I say they're all print on demand, so I don't have to have an inventory. So the dumbest idea ever, I can put on a shirt, and it doesn't cost me anything other than time. So I do not use Teespring. I use Printful. Teespring, I don't like their blank T-shirts, but I don't want to get super nerdy into that because that's just going to bore the hell out of the 4 people watching. So
your creativeness with art, did that start in college, or were you always drawn, or in why? A lot of it seems watercolors. What led you to that?
I've been painting and drawing since I was about 5 years old, and like I started drawing comic book shit back then. Sorry, stuff back then.
Oh, you
like,
can
one of
swear
the
on
first
this
things I
show.
remember drawing was Batman, and then I
can only go up from
I
there.
kind of was like a lost soul in high school. Didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and so I started taking art classes. Went to college planning on being a math major, but all the math classes are at 8 in the goddamn morning, which hell no. So then I took an art class and I saw some boobies because it's a figure drawing class. I'm like, I can do this. That's kind of where it had. And a lot of it's not actually watercolor. It's watered down acrylics, but that's just because I like working wet on dry. Just pause. And it's just, I don't like watercolor keeps reacting every time you add water to it. Whereas acrylics, I can just layer it and I'd be sloppy and messy. So
all right, I want to take this moment just to apologize to the chat and saying, sorry we're a little slow on Taylor's comments. We'll warm up and we'll zing them as he goes along.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, wet and dry and sloppy. There's something in there. I'm sure. I'm not quite sure what it is, but
the new wet, dry, and sloppy T-shirt coming next week. Anyway,
excellent.
Yeah.
Or the new dry and dry. You got Jimmy T-shirt.
Oh, geez, what's up, Warders, Macho, Ignacio?
Right, everyone's coming out to see you. But so we were talking about planes, trains, and automobiles before we got into the show. And so Taylor, if you had to spend a cold winter night in a hotel room,
with
cuddled up with one usual suspect, who would you pick out of this group of 5 handsome gentlemen?
Oh boy, it's a loaded question. I can't go the Southerner because
I might cut you.
Yeah,
the hills have eyes.
That's right.
I'm going. I got to go Rob because he's probably the best cuddler and he probably knows how to make a mean barbecue.
Right.
That's a good answer. And he's got bourbon. That's a good answer.
And then bourbon will help me forget the cuddling. So yeah,
and we all know the Don's a selfish lover. So
yes.
That's right.
It's all about him. Yeah,
that's right.
Hashtag
Coco.
The box behind me to my left.
It's one of those things where I'm not sure if I won or I lost that
comics.
right.
You won.
This box is my DC Keeper box.
So is inventorying for you like a nightmare because of all the stuff you do from that Spider-Man booth and the mystery boxes? Because it ended up for me with the mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Just having all this stuff I don't want. So I pretty much stopped mystery boxes and just started collecting Bronze Age.
See, I pretty much just stopped inventorying. That's my solution. That shelf here and here, those are all eBay and those are all organized and inventoried alphabetically. This shelf is stuff I'm planning on keeping and or reading, and that's alphabetical by publisher. And then behind here is about 14 long boxes of crap that has some random organization, but like a lot of it's that Spider-Man booth doubles and triples or that kind of stuff that I just haven't inventoried because I haven't figured out how I'm going to unload them yet. So, what's up, Comic? What's up, Shattered Glass? Yeah. So, the thing with that Spider-Man booth, I probably have 20 copies of Cable number 5. So, I have to figure out what to do with them all. Some of them will get mystery box. Some will get put on. I'm going to start selling on WhatsApp, so I'm going to try and unload some on there. But,
Now, have you been using Whatnot a lot?
Or Whatnot? No, I have not done it at all yet. I'm planning on starting it, but I needed a new phone because my old phone would die after half an hour, and yeah, I couldn't charge it the traditional way. So I'd finally have a new fancy big boy. Look at this iPhone. Well, yeah, hang on, I'm popular. I'm going to ignore this for.
I was like, don't drop it live.
Yeah,
you're just like a teenage girl.
I am.
Brand new iPhone. You're good to go.
Yes,
right.
I have to learn to.
Start TikToking. There you go.
Like History of the World Part 1, where he comes out. I give you these 15 crash. 10 commandments.
It's all under warranty still. Hopefully.
Be like ripping Doctor Strange's crotch off.
Yes, live on camera, and then giving it to Eddie in a mystery box.
Couldn't have gone to a nicer guy.
I have a question,
Taylor.
Yeah.
It was still a couple $100 book when he got it, but it's Eddie. So
Taylor, I have a question. Gary, but if it's okay, I'd actually like to ask the panel. Are you watching Squid Game? That's the most important question out there right now. Are you watching Squid Game?
I finished it last week.
I do not have Netflix currently, so no.
I don't watch tentacle porn.
Yeah. Nice. No, I dropped my
Netflix.
I'll probably pick it back up when Sandman starts, and then I'll catch up on some of this. But There's only so many of these monthly services you can do. And by the way, everybody subscribe to the Link Squad for a monthly service charge.
Yeah.
Hey, you can win a box.
Yeah,
I just want a box. It's insane.
I know. I do need to start subbing. I need to start supporting some of you guys more. I'll get there. Blah blah blah.
That was definitely rigged in the Don's favor.
Yeah,
as it is always.
Usually, yeah.
Listen to Nick talking. How many boxes have you won, Nick, off of these?
Yeah, right.
I'm a married guy, sir.
Mm-hmm. DJ didn't want to wake up with a horse head in his bed from the Don, so he did the right thing. Oh, goodness. So now with your YouTube channel, a lot of us, like, if someone asks me most people that know me know I have a YouTube channel. Yeah. Is it like that for you where you're just open about it, or do
I'm open about it
every day not know?
I'm open about it, but most of my friends just don't, and family, they just don't give a shit. Like, they don't care. So, like,
it's not on your real estate business card. Like, oh, while you're at it, check me out on YouTube.
I've got a couple friends. Like, I know Navik in real life, and I know a couple other, sorry, Nav's Comics, and I know a couple other folks that watch my stuff. Like, probably 4 or 5 in real life, but most of them just don't care at all. I don't hide it. I've been painting nerdy science fiction crap for 40 years. So, like, it's like the fact that I'm a geek is not a big hidden secret. It's just that a lot of my other social circle outside of YouTube just doesn't give a rat's ass. So,
do you ever roll the dice just to see if you should get out of bed?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. I'm like, oh, crit fail, and then I just go back to bed until the next day. Yeah.
You ever roll out of bed and grab that drink left over from the night before and drink it?
No, thankfully I do not
always
have that
empty.
Much. Yeah. Actually, but like, here's the problem: the drink from the night before nowadays is usually some sort of like antacid. and I got very old.
And Metamucil.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of fiber and some. Yeah. So this is taking a dark turn. Anyway, yeah.
So you're obviously a reader because you do a lot of reviews, but
yeah.
But why are your reviews
really
so awesome?
Into right now, like in the current comic climate, and what's your favorite age of comics to collect from?
That's a couple different questions. What am I into right now for comics? Well, the same answer everyone else gives right now is mostly indie stuff, and that's just because the mainstream for the most part is just so goddamn mediocre. It's frustrating. Like, and I get it. It's a product you have to push out every month, and like the superheroes can't change too much or you're going to alienate your core audience and stuff, but it just makes for like some drudgery. And so I like things with like finite storylines and things that have an ending and an actual arc to the story and possible character growth, things like that. Like probably my favorite miniseries I read in recent memory is The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. It's fantastic. It's by Ram V.
That's next on my list. I just read the 5-issue miniseries Eve and Silver City and love both of them.
Eve I thought started really well, and same with Silver City, and I have not finished them because I finished Eve. I thought the ending they just kind of limped into the ending, honestly. And Silver City lost me enough that I was like, nope, don't care, not finishing it.
Oh,
so
I loved it. The one that lost me was Nuclear Family. I thought it had a really weak ending.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It was a dick ending, but it was also based on a dick book, so. Philip K. That is.
Well, don't be a dick.
Right.
Yeah, don't be a Philip K. dick.
Kind of feeling that there was some wordplay going on there.
Yeah. No.
But let's talk about books though. So we know what you read for comics.
Yeah.
Do you also read a lot of novels? And who's your favorite author?
It's been that problem right now is like comic books have eaten up my life, and I have not read novels in a while, but. And when I do read, it's sort of the same sort of escapist genre. I like fantasy and I like science fiction. Some of it, again, a lot of it's bad. But like probably my favorite all-time sci-fi author is Roger Zelazny. He's I
know who he is.
He did a lot of 60s, 70s stuff. He did Lord of Light, which was the fake movie they used for, I think, I can't remember what. If you Google Lord of Light and Kirby, you'll see a lot of weird concept images that Kirby made for the book, and they were a CIA fake flag or fake operation they used to get people out of somewhere. They turned it into some movie. I can't remember what it's called, but they faked the making of Lord of Light. and use it to get people out via fake movie crew. But yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, I've read Tolkien. I've read some of the other stuff, and I'm all over the map. I'll read. I'm weirdly a lot less picky when it comes to science fiction and fantasy novels than I am with comic books. Like I could sit and read the fluffiest of those, and I'll be like, yeah, that was all right. So.
Yeah. And do you like the old pulps as well? Those are really fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that was kind of raised on all that. Like I would never had any money growing up as a kid, so we go to the used bookstore and I'd buy a bunch of like whatever's cheap and had cool looking covers. So like Andre Norton and a bunch of like other cheap pulp sci-fi and fantasy folks. Ursula K. Le Guin is not super pulpy, but like had cool covers and
like Carrie Bison, some of those guys, some of their covers,
some of that. Yeah.
Those authors, they had some of the best covers. Like people don't realize that's like a whole lost genre as the art on those old fantasy books.
Amazing. a lot of Frazetta covers with the muscular men and skimpily clad women and all that kind of stuff. And that translates into some of the genre of comics I've been collecting lately. It probably lines up a fair amount with Rob. I like to collect the Silver and Bronze Age stuff lately. Because you get like the moderns I like reading, but I am so burnt out on the modern spec game and the nonsense that goes along with it that I'm just like going back further and I'm collecting like things that I think are cool.
Yeah.
So
see, I don't spec, so I have it pretty easy.
Yeah, you do. You have a very. You'd be hard to buy a Christmas. Oh, sorry.
Let's say he gets it pretty cheap, not because no one else likes Conan.
I don't know. Conan's heating up again, apparently, because of some Netflix nonsense or whatever. But yeah,
but it is the cover. I've said it many times that the art on those covers and stuff. There's some as much as the modern books, the digital art and stuff is beautiful and amazing. There's just something to be said for those old painted and hand drawn covers that you get, especially some of that fantastic. Science fiction stuff that came out of the late 40s, early 50s is just so breathtaking.
It is, especially because they ignored all the known laws of physics, and they didn't care, and
Well, yeah, and every guy wore a unit. They had this very distinct vision of that women would wear almost nothing but a bubble helmet, and guys would wear skirts. But you didn't apparently a bubble helmet.
I mean, that's easy access.
Obviously, a bubble helmet was there to protect you from the atmosphere, but the rest of your body was fine.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah. But Taylor, as long as I'm talking, I got a question I'm going to ask you.
Oh shit! All right, bring it.
Why are you so damn awesome? No, why are your reviews? I think your reviews are mind-boggling. I've said it over and over again. You're the only review show that I waste my time watching. Sorry, Don, and everybody else, but occasionally I watch a Gary because Gary. I watched Gary's very early on and gave him some advice, and I've seen how he's progressed, and I'd love to go check in and see how much Gary has progressed. But you, despite being, I know some people will describe you as being a curmudgeon, but the reality is you're more brutally honest and will just speak how you feel, and the hell with whether or not it's the politically correct way to describe a book or not.
Yeah, that's kind of, I just try and react how I would want to watch, honestly, as far as that goes. And so like you can sort of tell when a reviewer is just blowing smoke up somebody's ass, or like kissing ass of like because they know the author, or they're just like scared or pissed off Marvel and getting their free preview taken away, or any of that kind of crap. It's just like, just tell it. Like, not all books are great. Most of them are, by definition, most shit's average in life, sadly. And then you get all these outliers, and again, with especially when you're pushing out stuff on a monthly basis, not all of it's going to be perfect. A lot of it's going to be horrible. And I just point out stuff that bugs me that I notice, like lettering. Like it's if you notice lettering, it's bad. That's my theory.
Exactly.
I just read a series, Taylor, that I loved, but I thought of you because Western. It was Midnight Western Theater, which was a horror series, 5 issues. I love the 2 main characters, and I absolutely love the series, but I fucking hated the lettering that they put for one guy's speech, and it bothered me in every issue. But I liked the book so much in spite of the lettering, but the lettering definitely took away because her lettering was regular and good and clear and concise, and every time he spoke, It was like soft, and the lettering was tiny, and it was a fucking nightmare to read.
Yeah.
And then all I can think of is like, this is a good book, but this lettering is making the story difficult.
Yeah, and if you notice it, then it's bad. Like the good lettering is pretty much invisible. Like it's the way it should be. You can follow the word balloons around the page in the correct order, and it's just you just really don't notice it. You don't think about it. But if you think about if you start to find yourself thinking about the lettering, it's bad lettering.
There was a question earlier, different topic that I am always fascinated about, and I know I've heard you talk about it before, but your book, things that you did in your underpants.
Oh,
yeah. You talk a little bit about the process that went into that creation of that book and everything else, because I just think it's great.
I don't have a copy of it near me, but that's fine. I made a book called Things I Made in My Underwear. It was art I made every day for a year, and it was just a personal challenge I set up for myself. I kind of like doing some of that, and if you scroll back to the very embarrassing beginnings of my YouTube channel, there's some of that other stuff there. Like I'm trying intermediate fasting for a month, and nothing to do with comic books. It's just kind of life challenges, and I like some of that. And then I also realized by the end of most of these challenges, you're exhausted, you hate life. So, which is kind of the case with the art book too. It was more of a matter of stamina than creativity by the end of the year. But I do think it was a fun challenge, and I did it. I did the art challenge twice, where I did art 2 total 365-day chunks. I took a year off in the middle to make the art book, and I did not make a book in the second year's worth of art because burnout, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that kind of becomes a follow-up question once you're done. Is there any plans for any kind of sequel or a second book down the line?
No, I don't think so. I think if I were to do something else, it's gonna be a different kind of challenge. It's either gonna be an actual book with a plot of some flavor or something along those lines, possibly.
How to letter your
because I don't think that. I mean, there's definitely stuff I can learn and artistic growth I can make by doing another year-long challenge, but I'd rather
not necessarily a year long of doing.
Yeah, I would rather just dedicate my efforts into something else and try to expand my growth a little bit more in other areas. It might be something along the lines of a twisted kids book for adults or something, or something that straddles the line of a kids book and a comic.
Kind of like The Thief of Always by Clive Barker.
Yeah, sure. I've not read that, but I'll just nod.
I could see your art going very well into a book like along those lines.
Yeah, I still. Sure. Like Where the Wild Things Are, it's not a comic, it's not an adult book, but I still have a great love for that kid's book that Maurice.
That was a good book.
So it's famous for its distinctive style too.
Yeah.
So.
In keeping with the art, how old was Taylor when he had first found out he was an artist?
I don't know. There's such a thing as finding out, and I also I think anybody's an artist if you just make some shit. Like you don't have to be honestly, you put something on paper, you're an artist, or you just whatever. But I kind of pretty early on, I was always drawing and always sketching and always doodling and stuff. I didn't really become serious about it until probably college.
Sorry.
What were some of those favorite doodles way back when?
I'm very quick at coming up with an idea and then abandoning it. So I have a lot of character doodles that I did that have not gone anywhere, that are just kind of in my back pocket. And, they're kind of going to sit there until I release them on the world. And I don't know if I need to reveal all my deep, dark secrets as far as that goes. But I have an Atomic Knight character and a Star Thief and a bunch of other random ones that I kind of have sitting that I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet. And Comic Journey, I am 48, you son of a bitch, you.
So,
are you
some of your artists I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking if he's the oldest on the panel.
Yeah, I probably am.
No, I am. I'm 51.
Oh,
Taylor and I
you're half dead.
Taylor and I are the same age.
Oh, Jesus. And you're in shape. That's depressing because you're in shape.
One of the questions I did want to ask you, Taylor, is who are your artistic influences? Just not that it influenced your art, but just that you kept going back to them because you just enjoyed looking.
Oh, there's a boatload. I like Basquiat's art quite a bit. I like Van Gogh. I like Lawrence Werner, who's a conceptual artist. Jim Rice. As for fine art, there's a long kind of list. Cy Twombly, who does nothing but scribbles, but are beautiful. And then comic art. I like Dave Mckean stuff a lot, but I like his actual panel work better than his like 1990s like Sandman covers that just kind of have gotten dated. I like Sienkiewicz quite a bit. Like some of Frank Miller's stuff a whole lot, and Jeff Lemire I think is fantastic. He's not for everybody, but I love his kind of loose, sketchy style.
Well, there's a lot of them, like Sam Keith. I don't care for, but a lot of people love him.
Yeah, I like Sam Keith quite a bit too. Like I don't. I mean, I know Sam Keith is cartoony. I don't tend to go for the modern-ish cartoony folks though, like what I could call sort of cartoony, like Pat Gleason. I don't like Ryan Otley's hit or miss for me. I mean, they're all very skilled and they're all talented, and I can read a story with any of them. Oh, I like Mignola quite a bit too, Nav. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I actually really do. So, and I have great respect for like what the hell's the guy's name? The guy that's doing Batman right now. I think he's gorgeous, but like it's just kind of
Jimenez or.
Yeah, Jimenez, like detailed and fine, like art, and kind of an evolution from Jim Lee onto Jimenez. And I have great respect for Jim Lee too. It's just kind of they're great craftsmen and they're great draftsmen, but their work sometimes just feels a little cold to me. And so I'll go a little more. I like some of the more abstracted folks because I think it's a little more emotion in there. So.
Now, do you like art that is inked by someone else or someone like yourself, where the art is just all original to that person?
I don't think it doesn't necessarily matter. I think there's master inkers that can do a great job on top of other people's stuff. And like one of the beautiful things I do like about comic books is that it can be a solo thing. Like Ed Piskor, with this Red Room that he's doing right now, that's a one-man project. Like he's doing everything on it, and that's great. But I also think like it in some ways it's a unique medium because it's like a collaborative one, like a play or a movie or a TV show. Because like all the pieces have to work together for it to be good. The writing has to go well, the art, the penciling, the inking, the coloring, the lettering, and the editing. It all has to come into this package, and when it does, it's a thing of beauty. But I don't necessarily think that like a penciler has to ink their own stuff for it to be fantastic. I think some like inkers are another.
They're tracers.
Hero.
Wait, no, sorry.
Yes, they're tracers. They're unsung heroes of the comic world. And again,
right, there's several unsung. When you break it out, it's like the only people who get all the fame goes to the writer, the cover artist, and some of the big artists, interior artists. That's it. The pencilers, the inkers, the letterers. Nobody loves an editor. Yeah.
There's inkers, man, that they can make or break an artist to me. Or some inkers bring out the best in certain artists, and some inkers and some artists just don't gel together, where it's just kind of a mess. Yeah, but when you get a good team, it's amazing.
Yeah, like Frank Miller, Klaus Johnson.
Yes.
Jansen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They worked very well together and stuff. So, but
yeah, Jim Lee, Sinclair,
Liefeld, McFarlane. I mean, what?
Hold on. Ernie Chan and John Buscema.
There you go.
Abbott and Costello. Wait.
Yes.
Ernest and Gallo? Wait.
No. Kirby and Simon.
Jack and Daniels.
Yes.
So,
Jack and Daniels.
Ignacio, I think Jorge Corona is cartoony, but he can be. Like I think if you look at his stuff in where'd it go? I have it right here somewhere. Like in the Me You Love in the Dark, it's very cartoony, but it's also he's got like very realistic background, so he sort of straddles the line for me, and I really like his stuff quite a bit. So, yeah, great book by the way. If you're not reading it, peanut butter and jelly.
So, along with everything else you do, though, you have like a great sense of humor and wit with it. So, were you like a smart ass little kid, or did you get your humor once you were an adult?
I got bullied mercilessly as a kid and got the crap kicked out of me because I never knew when to keep my mouth shut, and it's still never know when to keep my mouth shut. So, like I was always a smart ass, but like a lonely smart ass as a child.
Where's the fun in keeping your mouth shut?
Yeah, well, I would have been less bruised as a kid, so. And less broken pairs of glasses by other kids at the school. So I was the prototypical horn rim taped together because like someone would kick the crap out of me and broke my glasses every time I got a new pair kid. So
Well, now you sell those bullies houses and you charge them extra and you stick them in. Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm like, oh yeah, you didn't see that clause in the contract? Whoopsie.
Oops. Sorry, balloon payment.
I'm kidding, folks. That's not ethical.
So what led you to real estate, though, Taylor? Did you just fall into it, or is it something you just
kind of, honestly. I needed something to make a fucking living. So,
went to school for art and ended up in real estate.
Yeah, that's not an uncommon path, actually. Like, it's a. No, I bought a house in Madison, Wisconsin, and I sold it for sale by owner. And I'm like, this isn't that hard. And then I realized now that the realtor, the person that bought it had a realtor working on their end who did almost all the work. And so I was like, oh, it's not that. But then I didn't realize that until I was in the business. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, shit. So.
Gotta learn it now.
Yeah. But I don't mind it because it's, I have a flexible schedule and, I can set my own hours and do that kind of stuff, which is pretty nice when it comes to making YouTube and reading comic books and stuff. The downside is a lot of evenings and weekends is whenever other people have off work is when they want to see houses. So.
Those bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't they just buy everything sight unseen in cash for over asking like everybody else?
Like on eBay, right?
Yes.
Just buy it on eBay.
Yeah, I'll put up a photo and say near mint, never read, and see if
near mint, 9.8 candidate.
Yeah, no, you gotta do like the house next door to me. That was like it was still filled with all the people's garbage that they decided not to move out of the house, and they just left it and told the realtor just do whatever. And before the house even got cleared out and everything, it was already has a sale pending, never got listed, never got shown.
Yeah, you live in a stupid market though.
Only stupid is for the people who are buying in this market.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the markets is it takes two sides to do it.
The sellers and the realtors are going.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though: the sellers have to have somewhere else to move to, or they're still stuck in the stupid market. So
yeah,
you're not going to win money in that market unless
situations where you're uncomfortable with the people you're selling to the whole time, where it's just like, oh man, I don't dig these people. I don't like being in their company.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's sort of like being on YouTube. I'm like the hot seat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to pay your dues, Taylor. It's just how it is.
Exactly.
That's life.
Would you? Hey, speaking of which, would some of you, would like 5 of you jerks subscribe to Gary so he could hit 800 already and stop complaining constantly?
I know, right?
What do you mean? What am I?
I mean, I'm
been complaining all night about
behind the scenes. Man, if you whiny son of a bitch.
Heck, while you're at it, you might as well subscribe to Taylor because not that he whines, he doesn't.
I just flat out complain.
Yeah,
it's different. It's like the manly version of whining.
Now, do you go to a lot of shows, Taylor, or have you never been to a show?
I've only been to one comic. Well, technically 2, but one I was in like high school and it doesn't count. I've only been to like Emerald City Comic Con once, and that was in like 2014. And I wasn't really even reading comics at the time, and I was just there with a buddy who wasn't reading comics actively either. So we kind of just walked through, and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." And then we got a drink. So like, I'm looking forward to going to C2E2 and doing all that and drinking at the con.
Now, did you find comics in college, or did you find them before?
I first started reading on a newsstand. I've stopped and started reading comics numerous times, but the very first time, I'm a child of the 70s, and we had corner stores and stuff. So I would go down to this corner store and just plop my ass on the ground until they kicked me out, because I would just sit there and read. And I was reading books that I had no context in. Like the first one I really remember reading was one of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I'd never read anything before that. No, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but it was cool art. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And I would just sit on the ground in there until the owner's like, you got to go, dude.
Well, at least he let you read a couple.
Yeah. And so I did that, but I never, we didn't have a ton of money growing up, so I wasn't able to buy a lot of monthlies and stuff. And in high school, I really started reading a bit more. And then in college, I didn't. But then after college, I picked it up. And then, I sort of stopped. Me too, man. I was looking forward to it. Just don't step on me with those 9-foot tall shoes. It's terrifying. Anyways, I just picked it up. I read from pretty hardcore from probably 2008 to 2014. And then I stopped again in 2014. And then I picked it back up again, because COVID and life boredom, like everybody else. Not everybody else. I know some people read straight through and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I didn't have, I moved all over the country a couple times. And in one of the moves, right after 2014, my entire collection got waterlogged. and destroyed. So like honestly, I had like probably 20 long boxes that were direct, and so that's when I was like, I can't go through this again. But turns out I'm wrong. I can go through it as many times as like, yeah.
Now, do you have any more collaborations coming up? Because you had that great collaboration with that Spider-Man booth when you did the boxes.
Nothing concrete and nothing I can talk about. So nothing YouTube related. I would like to. Except like my art doesn't lend itself to making traditional comics, and I'm not good enough at it. Like I don't have the. I think it takes a certain kind of chops to actually make a comic, and you have to really have a storytelling ability to do it. It's different than just making like cover art. I think there's people like make great cover art that make shitty interior art, and I probably would hopefully fall into somewhere in that category. So I would love to like get to the point where I'm maybe doing like a store exclusive for a cover or something down the line, but I don't have anything quite lined up for that. So, but hit me up, folks. Just not for interior bullshit. So,
well, that's all right. Well, I mean, your art's getting out there. People are seeing it.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I mean, I'm happy. I've gotten exposure and I've gotten some fun stuff that come out of this. And you know, I love making like portraits and like I love drawing most characters. Like there's some that I'm just like, okay, fine. Okay. We'll draw your stupid Hulk 2099. But like,
speaking of fine,
but would you do it as an ASM 300 homage or a Spider-Man 1 homage?
No. I mean, you pay me enough, and I'll be the biggest whore you want. So sure.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I just saw like Golden Apple Comics had a Batman in a Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I saw somebody else was releasing some Mckean exclusive. It's a Spider Miles in a 300 in a
okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen one of those for I don't know 30 days.
Folks that make comics, I understand why you make the homage covers, but dear fucking God, enough with Spider-Man 300
and Spider-Man 1.
And Spider-Man 1 and Hulk 344. Or
yes.
Wolverine, yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah. We know which one you're talking about.
Enough of those.
Yeah. There are a few other covers out there to homage.
Or just make something
original.
Us.
I was gonna say, stay with us, do something original.
Yeah.
So
Hulk
Taylor,
377. This week.
Yeah. So Taylor, Marvel and DC have been listening to you.
Yeah, have they?
They've been listening to your reviews, and they agree with you that their books are derivative and pointless and really don't move the needle at all. And they're giving you carte blanche to do whatever you want to do. Which book are you taking the mantle to try to save Taylor Winterstyle?
Oh my God, that's a tough one.
It's a good question, though, Rob.
Ever drink enough, eventually I come up with one.
Yeah, there you go. See, here's the thing. I think DC is actually doing better than Marvel right now for writing wise. So it'd probably be a Marvel book. And like, what's a very frustrating Marvel book that I can't help but read? I'd probably Spider-Man, because I don't think Zeb Wells' new direction is going to do it either. That just seems like more nonsense. And I get it, but like Spider-Man, I think would be the biggest challenge, and I think it'd possibly the most fun.
Cool. I will take your answer, and I will continue my subscription, and then I'd badmouth you later in a future episode.
Please do, please. And again, please. It's easy to be a critic and hard to make shit. So,
exactly.
So
why do you think I make nothing?
Run?
Yeah. What's up, Ben Parker? What's up, Jerry? Sorry.
Also, what do you think of the new Moon Knight run? Being such a fan of the character?
I think the Moon Knight run's actually fairly entertaining. It's not horrible. Like I thought the first issue is the best of the bunch so far, but it hasn't let me down enough where I'm gonna like quit it yet. And that's a high bot. That's high praise for a mainstream comic. So yeah. So I think I like Moon Knight and I generally even like Zeb Wells' work generally, and I like that kind of stuff. I don't like not to spoil the new ASM for everybody, but like there's another mysterious corporation that just appeared. It's like, fuck's sake.
I
want to see that it somehow turns into Alchemix, please.
Or Roxxon, or yeah. Congrats on 800, Gary. I think you just
didn't know I hit it. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. So yeah, Maz is going to be at C2E2, and like I'm really looking forward to meeting her and everyone else that's going to be able to make it, hopefully, because like I've not met anybody in real life through here other than Adrian APM, who lives near me.
I feel like I should warn you that Jimmy said he's a hugger, you might have to give him a second rule so he eventually lets go.
That's
and,
all right.
And his hands go low, so you got to watch out for hands in new places with Jimmy.
I've been vaccinated. I'm hugging everybody.
I'm going to take a picture of that very moment.
I just had my booster shot this week. Bring it on, Jimmy.
I've done the vaccine and natural antibodies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get some heart guard just in case too. A little bit of ivermectin never hurt anybody. Isn't that right, people?
I'll bring the horse ivermectin with me.
Jesus Christ.
The Taylor Smalltown hug is going to break YouTube.
It probably will.
And bleach for your.
Now, being a well-read gentleman as you are,
why do I not like Conan? I don't know. Anyways, what?
Being a well-read guy as you are, what is your favorite arc in comics that you've ever read that you still return to read again?
Favorite arc? It's probably got. I mean, it's probably got to be the entire Sandman run.
Kill Game and Sandman.
Yeah. Because it's what sort of got me into realized comics could be for grown-ups. And also it was very goth and there's definitely some flaws to it. However, it's still I think a great morality tale and a play. If you think about it like that, it's just very enjoyable to me. And I just love kind of what it sort of did to comics too. More so than there's a couple. I could reread Watchmen repeatedly too, and I get more out of it every time. But that's such a easy answer. So actually, here's one. And I haven't read it in a couple of years. It's been coming up when I get a chance. But it is Cages by Dave Mckean. I didn't think I had this. I thought it was destroyed, and I just found it in a bin. So I highly recommend. Well, we'll see. I might have to tear it a new one because it's been a couple of years. But I loved this one when it first came out, and I've reread it for every couple of years, and it's due for a reread, and it's due for me to put it on the YouTubes. So it's not one a lot of people have heard of, but that's okay.
Now, our buddy down here, Rob, was forced to quit comics when he read a storyline he couldn't stand with the Clone Saga. Have you ever read a storyline?
Forced. I was compelled.
I mean, I stopped reading X-Men after the X-Men, Uncanny. After Jim Lee kind of left and started the new X-Men, I stopped reading that about after 5 issues, and I stopped reading Spider-Man around that time. Yes. So what I'm saying is, short answer is yes, Gary. It's called the 90s. Because the
90s were rough on comics.
Yeah,
but man, they made a lot of them.
But they gave Spider-Man 2099 to Rob.
They sure did.
I will say though, Spider-Man 2099 with Rick Lenardi's art and stuff, and actually, and even Peter David, who's schlocky as all hell as a writer, it was still an entertaining read, and I liked that better than I liked McFarlane Spider-Man and that kind of stuff too. And I really do dig the 2099 costume of Spider-Man. The rest of them are hot garbage. But
yeah, a lot of it was, but there were certain elements of 2099 that was very cool and concept that really hits close to reality when you start thinking. I loved the concept of the megacorps running the country and stuff, and the governments had basically. Oh,
you mean those things they just stole from Judge Dredd? Yeah, that you're right.
Yeah. Well, but the reality is, you look at things today and you go,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is not unheard. I mean, it's not like it's a fresh dystopian view, right? It's almost a trope in reality of megacorps running the country. But it was just one of those things that was it just played out very well the way they did some of those elements. That it wasn't perfect, but it was better than a lot of other stuff going on at the time.
No, most of it was god awful. But Spider-Man 29 with the eye was at least a little entertaining.
I thought the Miguel O'Hara character was really good.
Yeah. And that's why he'll be in the Enter the Spider-Verse Part 2, Electric Spider-Boo, or whatever it's called.
Right.
And I'm sitting pretty on that spec.
Yeah.
If I could ever sell it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Cyberpunk is a whole genre.
Being an old dude like us, right?
Yes.
Give me some of your favorite 80s movies. Just the cheesiest, the
Big Trouble in Little China, Goonies, Alien,
Express.
Blade Runner. I mean, they're not all cheesy, but they're great 80s movies.
Right.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which we talked about earlier. I mean, I think the 80s were a great decade for movies, really, honestly.
They were, but it was
Probably one of the
there's
best.
always bad parenting in '80s movies, like in E.T., right?
Yeah.
Where it's just a wild dog or a wolf, guys. You go back outside. Goonies. There was no '80s movies with
Yeah, but that
kids.
was real life.
Yeah.
Like I
That
didn't
was real
have
life.
any supervision. We literally, I was one of those like, don't come home before the lights come on. Like my parents
Exactly.
wanted me out of the house.
Yep.
I was in the woods all the time too. Like
Yeah.
we hit the tree once from animals.
Yeah, and we had neighborhood rivalries with like other kids and stuff, and like the allegiances would shift, and it would. But yeah, I mean that was pretty. I think that was actually not that.
If you weren't out jumping bikes off something, then you were out climbing or building something in the top of a tree somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Or
jumping off
shooting
garage
something with a
roofs or-
slingshot or throwing rocks at something.
Yeah,
We used to
exactly.
get in crabapple fights, and those suckers can hurt.
Oh, we would have wrist
BB
rocket
gun
fights.
BB gun fights.
Yeah, we had BB gun fights. We mostly had wrist rocket fights. That was our jam. With rocks and marbles in the wrist rockets.
Yeah.
It's like,
BB gun fights nowadays is basically assault, right?
yeah.
That's why
Everything everything we talked about now is breaking like a lot of laws. Like,
that's why now you use airsoft. It's the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but we also had lawn jarts and all these things that like kids,
Right.
I remember playing lawn jarts
Yeah.
before it
And
got
you don't
canned.
exactly go play football out in the middle of the street anymore either.
No.
No.
And the kids nowadays will never learn what it's like to tree your nuts on a bike when you just like fucking
Oh,
yeah.
those are memories we don't need brought
I got
back.
plywood in a milk crate. Let's go, boys.
Exactly, yeah. And I've got a little bit of foam to wrap around the bar there. That'll protect your balls. Like that's
Oh goodness.
and yeah, BB gun wars and yeah, like we'd be like kids were rotten to each other. And now they're just
Yeah.
rotten online, which is probably worse.
Right.
way
'cause
worse.
Now their words hurt.
Now it's remember it used to be sticks and stones will hurt my bones, or wait, was it sticks and stones will hurt my bones? Names will never
break
hurt
my
me.
bones, but names will never. Now, that's nothing
Yeah,
but
now
names
names will like break me down emotionally and
Yeah.
I'll kill
Send me
myself.
the
thing.
Well, you
send
hit
me
with
the
a BB,
therapy.
you can walk it off and you're good. But yeah,
Yeah, it sends you the sticks and stones will break your bones, but you're calling me names will send me to therapy.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
You want
I
therapy?
remember
Climbing
climbing
trees,
trees
hell yeah.
so high that I was scared to get back down because I went too high up. Like,
Oh yeah, there was a lot of that. There was
Gary B talking about getting so high you can't get down. God, always talking about getting
Yeah, there we
high.
go.
It always
Out of
comes
this.
back to that, doesn't it, Slot? It always
That's
comes
all
back to that.
conversation.
Well, shit,
Two
I'll
have been
drink
waiting
to
to
that.
pick on me forever. Taylor, let's get into your music though, because
Oh,
we always
God.
talk about music on here. Let's get some of the Taylor Wonder guilty. music.
I'm pretty behind on my music taste. Like I don't have a lot of like new stuff.
Do any of us listen to new stuff? Come on.
No, I don't know.
Come on. None of us listen to new stuff. Maybe Nick. Nick might be that guy that listens to new stuff.
I'm forced to listen to new stuff.
The last concert I
Jimmy's
saw
like-
was right before COVID shut life down, and that was They Might Be Giants.
Oh,
they're good.
nice.
So I listened to, I like Primus, I like They Might Be Giants, I like Talking Heads, again, it's all, how everyone starts collecting the shit they like long for, and it's all the same kind of stuff with music for me. It's all like a lot of 80s stuff, a lot of the 90s, and then you throw in some like 90s hip hop for good measure, and yeah.
A lot of people don't know about They Might Be Giants, and they're fantastic.
Everybody-
Everybody's
Oh, they're
everybody's
nerd
named-
rock, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's named John in that band.
Yes, all two
Yep.
of them. And they're deceptively dark. They're super cheery, but you listen to them, I'm like, man, are they depressing?
I still want
See
to
you,
see.
Tate, man. Good seeing
I
you.
just want to see a Particle Man freaking comic book. Come on.
I'm sure
just turned,
it's probably been optioned.
I just turned Super Jesse on to Primus yesterday, actually.
Oh, Primus
He never
sucks.
heard Primus. I
Sailing
love
the
Primus.
seas of cheese.
I've been listening to a lot
Tom
of
and the
Megan the
Cat.
Stallion.
Well, yeah. see,
Yada yada
you're-
yada 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 yada.
What the
yada, yada, yada.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's a lot of new rock and roll comics out lately too.
Yeah. Well, it's all nostalgia based, I think, because like you get like Murder Falcon, and then there's a lot of like wrestling comics coming out, and people are like watching pro wrestling again because it's just
Me.
Yeah.
No, that's just
Yeah.
because now there's actually a new product that's decent.
so well, yeah, but it's all the same. I mean, you get the heel, you get the it's all.
Well,
it
that's
also
just
wrest-
classic.
Wasn't
storytelling.
everything all the same, Taylor?
It is.
There's
And
a
it
good
wrestling
must-
peaked.
Good must overcome evil.
And like almost everything else, it peaked in the 80s. So
There's a good show on Stars right now called Heels. If you're a wrestling fan, it's a good show.
No, it is really good.
Yep.
I've been watching it for free on YouTube.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. I'm not a big wrestling guy. I mean, I watched the Saturday morning cartoon back in the day, and I watched a bit of it back in the day, like during the Hulk Hogan before he went to whatever New World Order or whatever. But that was it. That was my
back in the WWF days.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
The Macho Man and Roddy Piper and
Andre the Giant, who's also in another great movie, Princess Bride.
Princess Bride is fantastic.
The most watchable movie ever, and also one of the most quotable movies ever.
It's definitely the most watchable movie.
Well,
I think.
it's not. It doesn't take the most quotable. Most quotable really goes to Blazing Saddles. Come on.
I mean, you just
can't quote it in public. That's all.
Oh no. Princess Bride. It's that almost every line in there is a quote. It's
definitely up there. It's on the top 5 list for sure.
I mean, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I mean, you could just pick. There's a couple quotable ones. So
half the movie.
Yeah.
History of the World Part 1 is one of my all-time favorites. By
that's a great one too.
Gary could probably quote The Thing word for word.
Did Rob whip out his slab and try to
The Glow actually was Glow. Yeah, Glow was pretty good. Comic Journey. I did like that as well.
I think that Comic Journey's confusing me with my co-host from Slab Hub, Chris, who whips out his slab and shames everyone with his Stanley ASM #1. I'm not that guy.
To answer Jesse's question, I think it might be the hero fantasy element of The Princess Bride.
Yeah. She made fun of me a couple weeks ago. She's like, "That's one movie that every time it comes on, you can't help but watch." I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a couple. That's up there for me. There's a couple.
It's got
like
giants and sword fighting and
ROUSs. Don't forget that.
Right.
Yeah.
Rodents of
Unusual
size.
size.
Just like our young boy who whatever that forget the actor's name, Ben Savage. When it's time for the kissing, we want to just go past this, and then maybe it's okay.
Yeah, true love.
Like, I love that. Love, true love. That most definitely.
I do like Beetlejuice, Matt. You're gonna have to show me that animatronic when you get it all going. That's before Tim Burton went off the goddamn rails. But yes,
Beetlejuice is one of the great movies.
Beetlejuice is, yes.
We're still waiting for that sequel.
It's Michael Keaton. You can't ever go wrong with Keaton.
Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder. Come on, dude.
Yep.
Back in her heyday.
And a young Adam Baldwin and Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin. Sorry.
Yep. Sorry.
One of the Baldwins.
Yeah.
Well, they're interchangeable, right?
More or less.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching the movie Threesome, then
yeah, like
whichever Baldwin that is pretty much on his own.
Winona Ryder, going inside her. That's a hip hop lyric from. Never mind. I'm gonna stop that one right now.
So, best concert you ever went to, Taylor?
Oh boy. One of the best I can remember in recent memory was Willie Nelson out at an outdoor amphitheater with about 300 people. So. My musical tastes are kind of all over the place, but good is good.
It should be.
Oh, same here.
Like I saw Neil Young at Farm Aid, that was really good. Aretha Franklin at House of Blues was fantastic. Also Outkast was really good at House of Blues. So
House of Blues is a good one.
Yeah.
And Big Boy in that group. I don't think there's ever been anyone that can rap as fast and as clear and enunciate as well as he does.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
Yeah.
I've never heard Twisted then, Gary.
Right?
Actually, Eminem would give him a run for the money too.
Same with Tech 9.
Yeah. But Eminem's faster, and he'll let you know it. Speaking of which, if anybody's in Detroit, go to his pop-up restaurant. Let me know if it's any good, because he's got his mom's spaghetti's pop-up. Anyways, yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, Yellow Wolf is fast too. Yeah. But what about you guys? What are some of the best concerts you've ever been to?
Mine was the B-52s and Violent Femmes together.
Nice.
It was amazing. Both of them were great. The Violent Femmes actually opened for the B-52s, and you would think it would be the other way around.
Well, they both only had one real album, so.
Yeah, but they were great. Plus, I've been to Montreal a bunch to the old Montreal, the Habs Forum. We used
Nice.
to go see most of our concerts there.
I've seen a Five Finger Death Punch and Godsmack at Roy Wilkins Theater in Minnesota with my buddy, and it was like the first time I've seen Five Finger Death Punch ever, and they creamed Godsmack. Their show was 10 times better.
That's who I
It
was
was a lot of
thinking
fun.
I was thinking about it. Buster
Buster's
Rhymes.
fast too. Yeah. Weird Al. Actually, I've heard Weird Al puts on an amazing concert.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse just went to one like about, I don't know, like 6 months ago maybe here in Oregon.
Nice.
I've seen so many. In my rock and roll days, I've seen so many things from Metallica at a small club to, Ozzy Osbourne opening for Black Sabbath, doing back-to-back sets essentially that were awesome. But probably the most fun.
6 months, 2 years, same thing, right?
Yeah.
The most fun show that I saw was probably watching Rammstein open for KMFDM. But when Rammstein was just coming over to the U.S., nobody knew they were playing a club and just sitting there in this little club and watching them come out on stage, and the entire band was on fire, and they grabbed their instruments, and their instruments ignite on fire. They grab the mic stands, and the mic stands go on fire, and they play the first song on fire, and I'm just sitting there watching them going, you guys.
Why is it so warm in here? Huh?
Well, one of the most fun shows I ever saw was Guar. They put on an amazingly fun show. They are nuts.
Yes.
For me, top to bottom, I had saw the Foo Fighters with Queens of the Stone Age as a middle act, and At the Drive-In as the opening.
That's a good
Nice.
show.
Good show.
And
My
then
life
Rage Against the Machine and Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rage.
that's a
nice.
great show.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rage
What
Navic,
is
did
great.
you just go see?
I was,
Navic, were you along when we went to see the one night we had to stopped at 2 concerts in one night? One in Oshkosh where we went and saw Man or Astro Man, and then drove down to Milwaukee and saw Thrill Kill Cult. Were you along on that journey? I can't remember.
My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult is one of my favorite bands because each album is so unique and so different with how they transition from pure industrial to jazz fusion to everything else. Hit and Run Holiday is a masterpiece album, I think.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't listen to them. Like they were a blip for me, Rob. Like I listened to them for like about a 6 month period of time, and then I kind of lost track of them.
Oh,
But-
so good.
I'll tell you who I saw the other night was Jane's Addiction, and they were
nice.
insane. I mean, like, it was so good. Perry Farrell is just unbelievable as a frontman. Like, it was so good. And then Metallica played the entire Black Album on the second night, and that was one of the best shows I've seen. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, I saw Metallica in high school. It was like Pantera opened for them.
And I saw Rage too at Lollapalooza, and it was unbelievable. It was my first mosh pit. It just kind of opened up around me.
Lollapalooza, they mosh pit anything. I saw them mosh pit to Arrested
Oh, yeah.
Development at a
That's right.
freaking Lollapalooza.
Jane's
I never saw
Addiction's
James
great.
live. I'm sad I've not seen that. But I went to Lollapalooza 2, 3, and 4, so I saw all the big boys in those back in the day because I'm old.
The
That's
one I
back when
went to-
Lollapalooza was a touring show.
Yeah, the one I went to was Metallica, Soundgarden, Rage,
Yeah, I was at that
That
one.
was much
the
fun.
Ramones.
Well, I was at the Milwaukee version of it. Yeah,
Yeah, the Ramones, Rancid, Screaming
Yeah.
Trees. It was a good show.
Rancid puts on a surprisingly good show too.
Yeah, they were good, and the Ramones were great. Like, I'd never seen the Ramones. I mean, it was good. No, but Jane's Addiction, like, I was just blown away. Like, I couldn't believe how good it was. Like, and I love Jane's Addiction, and I'd heard it was a great show, but they were unbelievable.
2 of the worst shows I've ever been to was one Modest Mouse. They're goddamn horrible live. Like they're just like
I like them as a group.
I like the songs, but like the live, I've seen them twice live, and both times they've been just like out of their gourd, zooted out mess. And the second, and also Flaming Lips, just because they pissed me off. Like I saw them during their Silver Bulletin tour, and literally they just set up 4 cassette players in the corner of the room, hit play, and left. So,
Nice, yeah.
fucking bastards.
Easy gig.
But I've seen a lot of good shows. I saw De La Soul at the Cubby Bear in Chicago, which is a little sports bar. I did shots with them afterwards, so that was fun. And this is like probably 1998. What's that?
Should call you Plug 4 now?
Yes, you can call me Plug 4. So, they put on a really good show too. Like De La Soul is legit. They were a lot of fun. So,
I was trying to think who else I saw. STP. I saw STP in Birmingham, Alabama, when Scott Weiland was
Still alive.
well with his drugs.
Yeah.
Because he had the purple mohawk and he was so skinny, but they put on one crazy show. and Louder Than Life, what was interesting is Machine Gun Kelly played. Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's that moron that picked a fight with Eminem.
Yeah, well,
He's married to somebody.
He goes out with Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Is that who he's been? I don't know. I just knew he's married to somebody.
It was an interesting show.
So and so and Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, he had said something about Slipknot like the week before he came there, and like everybody was booing him, and then he put on a pretty good show, but it could have been that gummy bear I ate kicked in about halfway through, and I was in good shape. So, but it was fun.
Yeah, I can't.
Jimmy, did you have a mullet back in the day? I'm gonna guess yes.
Me?
Yeah.
He's had that same haircut since he was born, probably.
I don't know.
I had about me or Gary B.
I mean, I would guess all of you probably did at some point. Maybe not Rob, but
No,
I was always
a flat top man.
Yeah.
All right.
I had hair down to the middle of my back at one point.
Hell yeah, I bet you did.
I tried growing my hair out when I was working for the rock and roll radio stations, but it was too bald in the top, so I just shaved it, and I've been shaving my head ever since.
Yeah, I was full mullet back in high school with steps shaved in the sides of my head.
Nice. Rat tail. You were a rat tail man, weren't you?
I never did the rat tail. No. I did the top knot first year of college, so I kind of looked just like Machine Gun Kelly.
Taylor was full on Joe Dirt.
I was close to Joe. I was pretty close to Joe Dirt. Yeah. That's all back in fashion now, though, kids. So the mullet's back.
Oh, you know who I saw that was live that was great was Oingo Boingo.
Oh, I bet they were.
They were a lot of fun live.
I'm really sad they stopped touring because they're a great band.
Yeah, we last time I saw them as Boingo. Last time I saw them, and it was still a freaking good show. But oh man, they were fun to watch.
I saw the Oak Ridge Boys once do a Christmas concert.
Oh yeah,
Oak Ridge Boys.
I seen the Kingston Trio. I saw John Denver. My parents were big into folk music, so we watched like all that stuff. And then
Navik, that was just a really greasy, ratty mullet. It was never a full-on rat tail.
The two members left of TLC were just at the Indian Reservation, like 30 miles down the road from me.
Nice.
Doing a show. Yeah.
So now, thanks to Jimmy, I'm singing Elvira.
Giddy up.
Oh, I thought you could have been a real thing because maybe I might rat tail it now. Maybe if I hit 1,000 followers, I'll rat tail my hair.
We can make that happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'd like to see Taylor do the one chip challenge.
No, it's not okay. I probably could handle the heat. I mean, it would drive me nuts. I saw the Mckeaners do it, but like my intestines literally could not take it. I've got ulcerative colitis, and I'm a delicate flower on the inside.
Yeah. No.
Did you see Dustin from Two Brothers? Did you see his?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, that was brutal. He got it in his eyes. It was brutal.
Oh yeah, no. Like I used to. I mean, I still like spicy food, but I just can't. It's just,
no, you can't.
I love spicy food, but
my whole family's got that, so I understand you, Taylor. That's not a.
No, it's not a fun. That's why, like, I can't drink beer anymore. I can't drink nothing carbonated. You know, it's like, yeah.
That's all right. You still have whiskey.
Probably shouldn't, but like we all have our.
Yeah, the hell with that.
Yeah,
we probably should. We have to keep Kentucky going.
That's right.
Kentucky's got to be famous for something.
Horse racing, bourbon, and the Don.
And we're
Taylor should go visit you, and you guys can make a cow tipping video together.
Don't need to. I'm just gonna be at the bar.
Yeah.
C2E2. Jimmy and I are just holding court at the bar. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Oh, you can thumbs it down, Jerry. It's all good. Your interview is actually informative and entertaining. This is just nonsense rambling about pushing over perfectly innocent cows.
And rat tails and mullets and
yeah.
Okay, so bring us back home to comics, huh? Is what
no,
you're
I don't
to
care.
say?
I'll talk about whatever. So
did you see the new What If, or have you been watching the What If, Taylor?
Yeah, I liked it. I kind of wish they didn't do what they did in the ending. Like, I kind of wish they would have just left it as separate what ifs. But
you didn't like the pocket, whatever.
I mean, you could sort of tell they were heading that way, but I just was like, it kind of like closes off the story if they try and do a second season. What are they going to do? Oh, whatever else happens, Watcher's just going to interfere. Like, you know, like, like, I don't know. I think they kind of wrote themselves into a bit of a corner with it. It was entertaining enough. I just kind of was like, wish they would have not done that. I wish they actually would have shown the Gamora episode too that apparently they didn't finish because of COVID.
Yeah.
But
the mid-credit scene I thought was fun.
Yep.
What was that? Oh yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, that was an up and down series for me. I really liked the first three. Didn't like a couple in the middle, and then I liked the last two.
I think it had What If had a hard challenge because like, you know, that what in an ideal world they branch out into all the Marvel comic dumb and do what ifs based on obscure shit, right? But like they're trying to appeal to Disney fans and Marvel movie fans that have never picked up a comic book in their life, so it has to just be the characters that have already been introduced and stuff, and like a rehashing of the stories they've already told. So that makes it a bit tricky. Like they're not gonna throw in like a what if Howard the Duck was president because they don't know, nobody knows who the hell Howard the Duck was, you know, or anything like that. So
well, it's too bad because I wanted them to go back to some of the old what if stories, which you know would have been great, but they're so obsessed with the multiverse right now because
and like I said, like comic book readers are not the target audience of What If. You know, the target audience of What If is people that have never read the books.
Yep.
Same with the movies.
All the MCU movies. That's what it's targeted for. All the moviegoers.
Now, do you have a favorite really bad superhero movie like Steel or Catwoman or?
Super.
You know it's bad, but you just like it.
Yeah, Super.
Love it.
Oh,
perfect. Yeah.
And ultra violent too.
Yeah, it is. I actually did not hate what's his face is Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2. Like I thought they're perfectly watchable. So
and they had good chemistry, obviously, but I think the problem they did with that is the same thing that Sony always does, right? All of a sudden they got to try to set up a big teen movie after.
Oh yeah, I mean they're definitely flawed and they're definitely not great, but like I can sit down and watch them at any given time. And for whatever reason, I'm more forgiving of those than I am of the new Marvel movies. Like a lot of the Marvel movies, I'm pretty nitpicky about, but that also because Marvel's now had like 20 some movies to get it right, So
right now, so what would be if you could take anything from page to screen? What would it be for you?
Oh boy. That's a tough one. In Marvel or DC or whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Because like I think a lot of things suck in translation. Like I'm not anticipating this new Sandman series to be very good on Netflix just because like it was a great comic and I don't know if it'll translate. Now that said, I think they've not done this right yet, and I think they could. I think there's a possibility still of doing a really, really good Hellblazer series. And I thought the guy that played Hellblazer was great, Matt Brown, or whatever his name is. But I don't think they just didn't nail it with that series. So I think they could do something like that. Or
the animated Constantine movie.
Yeah, same voice actor too. So
they're good.
Yeah. I've not watched a lot of DC animated stuff, but sticking with mainstream Marvel, like I would love to see. Like actually a good X-Men movie. I don't think any of them been that good. Like I think there's been bits and pieces. Like I think the Nightcrawler scene in X-Men 2 is one of the best comic scenes ever. But I don't think the movie was good, and I don't think the first X-Men movie was very good. So I think a really good X-Men movie would be fantastic.
So that would be nice because they had a lot of the characters. I thought that actors that played the perfect role for the character. It was just the movie was written atrociously. It was garbage.
Yeah,
I want to see Rogue done right.
Yeah, I don't think that was cast very well. I don't think what's her face was good as Rogue, but and like the problem is like you have to. Yeah, there are some problems with like all the X-Men movies, and I'd love to see them done right because like in my high school years, like Claremont was king, and
right,
and like
Anna Paquin is an American treasure. You bite.
Yeah, she's American and a shitty rogue.
Horrible rogue.
What do you think about Oscar Isaacs being cast as Moon Knight? Because I think it's pretty decent casting.
He's a talented actor, but I don't know if he could pull off the necessary like multiple personality stuff. And if the costume's accurate, like the leaked costume, I hate it because it's way too buff and bulky and padded and looks like a bad Spawn
Batman.
costume for.
Did you ever see Ex Machina with him? He plays.
Yeah, he's great. I just in my head, I don't know who I would pick, but I will watch it. I'm cautiously optimistic because he is a good actor. So Logan was a really good movie. You're right, Comic Journey. Yeah. So,
when you could focus on something. The problem with X-Men is there's so many characters. No matter, and even when you pick, we're only going to do 5. That's 5 characters to introduce all at once. Plus,
and they didn't have any patience with the movies. You can't go from X-Men 1 right into the Phoenix Saga in the second movie. You just can't. You shouldn't do that. It's the Phoenix Saga is like the 4th or 5th movie. That's.
There's a lot of baggage to unpack with some of that.
There was a lot of characters, not just good guys, but villains in X-Men. All the different villains in it, they tried to throw in there.
It's
an ambitious thing.
Well, that and you get to the 3rd movie, and there's we can't really write these guys in. Let's just kill them real quick, and then keep moving.
And then they did the soft reboot, which didn't work. So,
all right. So who's your favorite starship captain of the
Seth MacFarlane? Kidding.
Yes.
The Orville, huh?
I do think the Orville is the best current Star Trek series out there.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, because Picard is hot garbage. I love him as a captain, and if I were to pick best captain ever, he's probably the best captain. But I hated that show, the first season, anyways, that they've done. So
I wanted to ask you that one earlier, and then I forgot about it. But I'm just because I know you're a sci-fi guy.
Yeah. I mean,
everyone's got a favorite captain.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of a guilty pleasure movie I can watch repeatedly in sci-fi,
Ace Rimmer.
Last Starfighter.
Oh, great movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
I saw that in the theater.
I just actually watched that. I want to say a month ago, but in my mind it's a month ago, but it's probably 5 years ago.
1983.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, there's a couple from that period that are not fantastic, and that's not fantastic, but I mean, they could reboot that and do it really well, I think. Except for they have to be some Fortnite fighter or some bullshit, but whatever, some Twitch star.
Did they kind of do that with Ready Player One?
Yeah, probably, but the Ready Player One is awful too. So
I like it.
Really, I rather enjoyed Ready Player One.
Yeah, so did I. Maybe because I never read the book.
Right,
probably.
I didn't either.
I don't know. The main character is just such a smug asshole.
Who's paying attention to him?
Is he? I've never seen anything with him in real life, so I just.
Oh, not in real life. I just meant the character. Scott Bakula, yeah, he was not. That show was not very good. Enterprise, it was not a good show.
Oh, yeah, no. Enterprise only got watchable when it became a serial instead of episodic, but even then, it was too late to save the show.
Yeah.
Now, are you Star Trek over Star Wars or Star Wars over Star Trek?
I like them both. I mean, I don't honestly, I don't think that there's room in my boat world for both of them, Gary. I'm not a Trekker or a whatever that.
Well, if we're going down this path, then let's ask the real question: how do you feel about the Babylon 5 reboot?
I don't give a fuck.
Well, what fun was that question?
The first series did nothing for me. It's sort of like, what if they're going to make a new Stargate series? I also don't give a shit. I just don't care.
They need to reboot Buck Rogers, for God's sakes, and do it right.
Yes. You know what they should do? They should do a Flash Gordon serial, set in with 40s space physics and all that stuff, skirts and bikinis, like Rob was talking about,
and bubble helmets.
Yes,
bubble helmets.
Yeah, it would never fly. I mean, you could still have it be fun and not be as weirdly sexist as those serials were, I think. But I don't think they wouldn't do it.
And do it as a musical too, a la Gallivant, but now in science fiction.
Oh, and also the best Star Trek movie ever made, Galaxy Quest.
Oh, I love Galaxy Quest. So funny. And so many great actors too, and just Tony Shalhoub and the Alien.
Yeah. I'm also saying Star Trek has not had great movies, but
right.
Galaxy Quest is a lot of fun.
Did you like the new Star Trek ones that were out by J.J. Abrams?
The first one was good. The second one was shitty. The third one was okay.
I agree with that. The
I
second
know.
one was
Those are guilty pleasures. I actually enjoyed all three of them.
Hey, was the second one Con?
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't like Con.
Trekker.
Yeah.
You dirty Trekker.
And I actually saw Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan at the drive-in when I was a kid.
The Star Trek 2 is a great, like the original one's a great
The original, yeah.
Fine Corinthian leather.
Right?
But really,
I remember that
Battlestar
old joke.
Galactica.
Oh, Against the Borg.
Bring back more Battlestar.
Or was Jerry just...
Battlestar Galactica, the
a
series was
79?
great. The reboot.
I agree
Right
with
up until the fifth
Promiscuous.
season.
Well, yeah.
I am not a Tim Allen fan, but Galaxy Quest is the exception.
Tim Allen played a perfect Captain Kirk, who also couldn't act. Like, you know, so like,
That's why I liked Con Men. That was good.
I don't know if I've seen it, honestly.
Con Men was it was is a small series of shorts you can pick up on DVD and stuff now or stream it. But it was
It's it's Fillion and
guys who are living past their, or one of them's made it big and the other one's still living off the sci-fi show that he was on for
season, and then he was killed off.
yeah, then it was killed off. Yeah, exactly.
It's a
It was
documentary about Firefly.
very tongue in cheek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, were you a Ray Harryhausen fan?
I read like some of the Stainless Steel Rat series and I really liked it, but that was in high school and I have not looked at it since. So
Yes, Comic Journey.
wait, hang on, Harryhausen. I'm thinking, who am I thinking? You mean the stop motion guy?
Yes. Like
Yeah,
his old
sorry, I was
movies,
thinking-
like
Yeah. I liked Sinbad and those. Yeah, I like those quite a bit. Who was I? I'm sorry, I was thinking of a different guy. Harry Harrison. Sorry.
yeah.
Is the
No,
author.
those are just have a magic. And I think a lot of that's missing from like today's stuff is that wonder, but I don't think it's the fault of things today. I think it's just, we've seen everything now.
Well, maybe. I think movies are sometimes better when there's limits. And like, the older special effects, they couldn't do everything, so they had to be really creative on how they did it. And that led to a lot more quality. Like where CG, like if you can think about it, you can think of it, you can throw it on the screen. And sometimes like mystery is a good thing, and you don't need to see all this super splashy nonsense, and it gets in the way of the plot.
You do a thing where with the digital medium, there's a feeling that you can show it. So they'll go out and build it, and then if it doesn't work perfectly, it looks like garbage. Whereas a lot of the older stuff, there was a lot of stuff where, okay, we'll do stuff in shadows. We're going to leave it to suggest things and allow your mind to fill in the rest of it.
If they remade Jaws today, it'd be fucking horrible. Because they would show the shark in like the first 2 minutes.
It was Mastodon. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Megalodon. That was a horrible.
Whatever it was.
Movie,
Mastodon, Megalodon.
Mastodon.
Are you talking about the Meg?
Yeah,
Jason
the Meg,
Statham?
Yeah. Gary, like it?
I drank.
It's good popcorn fun. You could turn your brain off and just enjoy it.
It was fine, as Taylor would say.
Yeah. I've not seen it.
We will start winding this up. We've gone for an hour, 20 minutes. But I did have another question I wanted to ask you, TV related, because your sense of humor. I want to know what your favorite TV sitcom of all time is.
Probably Parks and Recreation.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Or Community.
I mean, it's wrong because the answer's Scrubs, but I'll let you have your.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Gary. But
Scrubs,
it's okay for you to be wrong.
Yeah, I can see why you like Scrubs. You're like, but
And Soap.
Soap is pretty good, actually.
Well, let's start doing our roundup here. We'll get the last questions out of the way. Let's see. Well, we'll start at the bottom with Rob and move our way up.
Rob the power bottom.
Wow, yeah.
Well, you did pick him as your cuddler.
Yes, I did.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I really kind of don't have anything, Taylor. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine,
My beverage is empty, so what should I fill it with?
Larceny. Neat.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's all.
You got anything slotted up?
No, I just wanted to come on here and just see Taylor's face.
Yeah, it's been too long, Jason.
I miss this guy. So
it's been too long.
I missed that hanging out with him, that weekend. I called ahead and I said, "Hey, dude, what are you doing on Saturday?"
I know. I had to
have
work.
dinner, and he's like, "No, I'm good." He said, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'm like,
Well,
oh,
you
you
know.
didn't ask me if I wanted to buy your collection? Fuck you, you're dead to me.
Getting a cold shoulder from Taylor Winder. Nick, you got anything, sir?
Yeah, I kind of want to know if you're going to expand the clothing line to like polos or pullovers.
Or 9-fingered gloves.
That's a
Or
lot of
hats.
work.
Or
I think
hats.
he needs giant onesies.
If I could
I
find
wonder
somebody
if
that
you-
would print those on demand, sure. I would love to do like bowling shirts, actually.
Yes.
But I've not found good blanks for them, and I'm not going to like start cutting and sewing the shit myself because I'm way too damn lazy.
So kind of like Rodney Dangerfield and the regular guy looking at it.
Yeah, kind of. Where I can get a free bowl of soup with that hat.
Jimmy?
I just want to know where Taylor's at with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, we're buds. We got the same hairdo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we're
do.
bros. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never met the man, but I'm sure we get along perfectly.
I think you would too.
He just might not know it. I mean, I've hung out in his yard repeatedly, and he just doesn't say hi. So
Yeah, I hear you.
Did you ask him for a discount double check?
I did.
Discount double check.
I'm more of a cummerbund than an ascotter.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'll end my question with Scooby-Doo. Are you a Daphne or Velma fan?
Well, Velma's got way more OnlyFans out there, so I gotta go Velma.
All
Nobody's
right.
a Daphne fan. Daphne's like the girl that you wouldn't talk to in high school.
Right? Daphne's an idiot.
Yeah.
Daphne's the only redhead that gets no love. Everybody loves Wilma. Everybody loves Mary Jane, but no.
There's
they go
nothing
to-
wrong with Daphne. She can kick ass too.
You just picture
Gary
her
B's
dressed up.
Gary B's like,
She
damn
likes-
it, that was a wrong
she likes-
answer.
She likes Fred, and none of us like Fred. So
Listen, Daphne is
Well-
like Red Sonja with a lot more clothes on.
Right.
So I mean that's why Gary V's into her. So
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just a big Scooby-Doo fan. And it's still carried over to our kid today. We still buy all the Scooby-Doo movies when they come out. All the direct-to-video ones, we watch them. They've had their ups, their downs. But
Casey
we're
Kasem
big on
isn't in it. It's
Scooby-Doo.
not worth watching.
Jinkies.
Yeah, the best Batman comic book out there is Batman and Scooby-Doo.
I heard it was actually really good. I've not read
It's
it.
really good.
My
I've
favorite
been
was
reading it. It's fun.
Scooby-Doo
And it's
meets
got
the
that nostalgia
Globetrotters.
that we all like so much.
Mhm.
But I also heard what is it? Is it Conan and Groot? No, there's Groot and somebody else that's supposed to be
Tarzan right now.
Tarzan
Groot
and Groot will be
Tarzan.
really good too.
Yeah, if it was Conan, no one would read it.
They already did a Groom Conan a couple years ago.
See, no one read it.
Yeah.
I got the hardcover and the floppies.
Of course you do.
I also had the Gru and Tarzan.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness. All right,
Awkward.
I don't know.
Awkward ending. Yeah. Are we done yet?
Nah, not at all. Fun. I think half the problem with this panel is we're all dog ass tired. I know Jimmy's tired. Jimmy's had
Yeah.
a rough week with the family. I've been working a bazillion hours a day, but I don't know. I've had a ton of fun talking to you.
Oh,
tonight,
I always
Taylor.
have fun talking to all you guys. So
It's only 7:53 here. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Tired.
yeah.
I'm just
Well-
happy not to be at a volleyball game or the soccer field right now.
Are you gonna
I'll
go
be
get some
100%
Arby's,
honest.
Jason? Yeah.
I don't know why you're
Arby's
not tired.
sounds
Jason,
good.
Jason started texting me at like 7 something this morning. No, it was 8:30.
Jason's been
okay.
awake since
Fuck,
like
man.
5,
Well, so am I.
right?
This is
That's
turning
what
into
happens
an
when
old
you get
man
old. You get
standoff
up
about
early.
who got up first.
Yeah, but
I
you're
got
up
up-
at 5 on the West Coast. That's like 9 o'clock real time.
You should have seen back in the day when
Yeah, but
Jimmy
we're
and
going
me
to
and
bed at-
everybody were in that chat. These guys would be at like my phone would start buzzing on my desk at like 2 in the morning. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Oh, it's Jimmy and Gary. Crap. I just
Yeah.
grab my phone and throw it on the carpet so it doesn't buzz anymore.
But Taylor, we might be sleeping in that late, but we're not going to bed till 3 in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, Jason's not on real time.
Yeah.
No. It's real time.
Yeah, but
You
Kyle,
guys
then
over
you'll
on the
leave
East
next morning,
Coast.
so it's fine.
Yeah. You guys are on fairy tale time over on the East Coast.
Listen, the only real time zone is Central, and we all know it.
That's the only time zone that doesn't really exist.
The only
Everyone
real
always
time
goes
is-
Pacific Standard Eastern. No one cares about the middle of the
No,
country.
no. The one that gets skipped is the other one you skipped.
the
Mountain.
mountain.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain.
Right.
But that's because sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. They're like an almond joy.
Central time zone is what the real world does. We're like
the
default.
real is GMT. That's the only real time.
Said nobody ever.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you measure your books with the metric system, Rob?
No, I measure them by hand.
Right. Oh, it's amazing that you and Rob haven't done a show together yet, Taylor.
He's on Rob's on every Sunday night with
every Sunday. Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Just nobody watches it.
Nobody watches
it. It's on Eddie's channel.
It really is just three old fuckers bitching at each other.
No, I'm usually asleep by then because my Mondays
I take it back. No, that's not true. We're discrediting ourselves. Lascrucius is there.
Oh, Lascrucius watches.
Yeah.
And it's mostly Rob and I bitching and complaining, picking on Eddie, to be fair. So
yeah.
But it's also an easy target. So.
I was supposed to be there this Sunday, but I don't know, I was still on my way back from Fargo.
Yeah, how many hours was that drive?
Well, I'll tell you. Like I said, the beginning was great. I left here at 6:30 my time.
Yeah,
and got on a Friday after work. Left and then got back Sunday at 7:30 p.m. So it was, and literally only spent like 4 hours with Adrian.
Yeah, so that's a long. Wow. I've done the cross country that way. It's long. And you're right, Eastern Montana, just dead deer and racist. That's all there is there.
Pretty much. Yeah. My next trip's probably going to be either Texas, because Jesse's got a brother there, and I'll probably go see Nick if I'm in Texas.
Because Texas is small.
Yeah.
Everything's right around the corner from one another. Just ask Mark from Legion of Comics.
A quick 8-hour drive anywhere with no traffic.
Don't forget, Montana does also have a hole in the ground that occasionally spit on you.
Yes. And I drove by the Yellowstone River, I don't know. I seen signs for the Yellowstone River 43 times on my way through Montana.
Did you stop at Waldrug? Or no, you didn't go that way, did you? No, you wouldn't have gone that way. You wouldn't have gone that way.
No, I think the weirdest place I ever went through was West Virginia. That was when Santina and I went through there. That was even the McDonald's was weird. We're like, all right, let's get out of here. We're gonna get wrong turned at some point.
What does that mean?
There's no wrong.
You never saw Wrong Turn the movie?
No.
Oh, it was.
I feel stupid. Suddenly, I feel small.
Have you seen Nothing But Trouble? Same movie,
right?
That sounds familiar.
I love that
Nothing
movie.
But Trouble is great. That's a underrated gem. You're talking about the Dan Aykroyd one, right?
Yeah. Yep. With Bobo and Little Devil, we're not allowed in the house.
What about Falling Down? That was a great movie.
Here's the thing, though. You rewatch Falling Down, and he's pretty much just a racist piece of shit.
Well, sure, but
and
you do that with a lot of movies.
He's a combo racist piece of shit and a Karen that just bitches about not getting in breakfast after breakfast is done being served. It's
man, you're talking about the Michael Douglas movie, right?
Yeah,
right. I haven't seen that since it came out.
It doesn't age very well,
like many other movies.
Yeah, he's pretty much like the Punisher. Kidding.
Hey, now
that's bringing it back to the old days of
back to comics. Very good there, Taylor.
Right?
I must give you a lot for keeping us on topic. Somebody has to.
I must remind you, Taylor, you did draw the Punisher symbol.
I did.
So you're pro Punisher symbol, everyone. Just so you guys know that Taylor is pro Punisher symbol.
I drew the Punisher symbol. Next, I'm going to draw
anybody
on
on this
Howard the
panel watch Strange Brew ever in their life?
Come on, you hoser.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Max von Sydow. Oh, so good.
It's the second best Canadian movie ever.
Right after Yoga Hosers?
Canadian Bacon.
Oh. Canadian Bacon.
What about Brain Candy?
Brain Candy was pretty good. Yeah, Kids in the Hall. That was pretty good.
All right, take us home, Gary.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll start the sign out. All right, Rob, what's coming up for you?
Oh, Saturday I have Slab Hub. There's a guy that looks sort of like me, but his beard keeps going, and his mustache has really got a midget. But we're happy to have Nick's Kix and Comix join us on Slab Hub this week. That'll be great. Sunday I'll be over on previously mentioned Eddie's channel. Why not give him a chance and check him out for once? He'll be confused if there's 4 people watching.
He will. He won't know what to do.
He'll
probably lose a grandkid or a dog or both.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll even shave off his beard.
He probably will.
But otherwise, I have a channel. I open stuff on Mondays, and then occasionally I hook up with the Slotted Up, and We have a nice show called Sidekicks Talk Comics. And on Saturdays, we show off slabs or other people's slabs. And I give away books. And then there's other stuff that happens here and there throughout this week.
Yeah.
And Jason, I heard you have an actual comic book video coming out soon.
Yeah, on the 24th. And also, on the 24th, I got a CGC submission that someone wants to show off on my channel. And then we got the Halloween episode of Psychic Talk Comics where we're going to be talking about horror comics.
Horror?
And we might even be dressing up.
Horror. As opposed to horror comics, yes.
Wait, I thought he said horrors and comics,
No, horror.
No, I'm not talking about Red Sonja.
We do the horrors on Slab Hub. That's why Nick's coming.
And, Nick, what's coming up for you, sir?
All right. Well, tomorrow it's not on my channel, but the Legion of Comics is having his weekly community hangout, and anybody who's never been on, I welcome you. Invite you to come on. It's a good time on Fridays. I've also got my local LCS in which I did a store tour for. That's the place I always call Gary B from, and that's about it for now.
Oh, Saturday you're going to be on a show, aren't
you? Oh, yeah. Saturday I'm going to be on a show with a guy with a better mustache.
And Jimmy, I heard a rumor you passed 1,000 at some point.
Yeah.
And there's a giveaway coming up?
There is a giveaway coming up. If everybody's available, I just look, man, it's about time for me right now. And so hopefully next Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll do the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll message all you guys this weekend, hopefully.
Before I put the book back in my box?
Yeah. I'll message
Rewatch
you guys.
my video to figure out what I agreed to give away.
Yeah.
You said you're giving me $1 million. That's all I heard.
Oh, yeah.
And then what do we got? 50th episode of 10 Questions coming up. It'll be Lee from Whack Comics will be on.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. And then just the normal stuff. Mystery Box Monday. I think I got a Main Street or Mainstream Comics. I don't even know what it's called.
Oh, that's right. Lee mentioned that you made him have to stay up till like 2 a.m. to interview with you.
Yeah, it was late where he was at. So, and then what first appearances and key issues, and then comic books on a budget. And then, like I said, Thursday will be 10 Questions, 50th episode. Can't believe I've done 50 of those, but yeah.
I love comics on a budget because I'm never buying any of the books that's on Jimmy's list, and it's always fun to see how our tastes are different. Not in a bad way. It's just fun to see how different
I'm never
we
buying
are.
any of those damn books.
That's what he always comments too. It's great to watch a video of a bunch of books I'm never going to buy.
I often say that on Gary's stream too, but
no, that's what when I watch Gary's haul videos, I'm like,
on my channel.
But I have picked up a few titles, and and I do want to say this about Taylor's reviews. If you guys don't watch them, they are awesome. It's really, I watched that one, and I watched Comics Will Break Your Heart. I like those two, and Taylor does a really good job with that. It really is must watch for me.
Well, thanks, guys.
You have a good way of explaining the comic in a short amount of time without spoiling it.
Yeah, and he's turned me on to a bunch of good books, too, that I wouldn't have read otherwise, because Taylor will read some different things than I would otherwise read, and he's turned me on to some good stuff. So, go sub Taylor up and watch that review. It's good.
Aw, thanks, guys.
We'll accept our payment now. Oh, wait, after. Sorry.
And like Taylor, I like the graphic
Dogecoin for me.
I'm starting The Wait by Scott Snyder because I like
Nice.
I like not Kara so much. I decided to pick up the horror title, The Wake, and
horror.
Yeah, horror.
Have you read The Nice House on the Lake yet?
I read the first issue. I thought it was good.
Well, you better get to it.
That is so good.
You got plenty of time, Gary. You got plenty of time. One more issue, then they're going on hiatus, so there's no need to hurry.
So
it's really good.
We forgot one thing about for Taylor. So we talked about his great comic book reviews, and it's great. Absolutely fabulous. But we shouldn't neglect it. He also does a trade paperback review.
I do.
And he gives away.
I give away a lot of them. Yeah.
A lot of trade paperbacks. So
I end up not having to give away a lot of them.
If you're just in it for free stuff.
Yeah.
You can sub up Taylor and watch his trade paperback reviews. And if you're not, you're just interested in maybe going see what's an interesting trade paperback that I might want to go back and pick up in a very quick and easy way without having to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of spec book population. Because when Taylor reviews a book, the price is kind of
don't say free stuff too many more times, or K Titus will show up.
Right.
Anyways.
Also, Taylor, tell us where you can get that nice shirt you're wearing, because I'll tell you what, I've gotten so many compliments on mine.
Well, you can get this at taylorwinder.com.
I like the 10.0. I'm fake.
Yeah.
taylorwinder.com.
Yes.
It's also where you can pick a copy of his coffee table book.
You can buy a coffee table book there. You can commission free. You can commission custom art through there, but it's probably better to do that through Instagram. So hit me up. We can chat.
And Taylor, I wanted to thank you for coming on, guys. I haven't
thanks for having me, Gary.
talked to you in a while, and it
Been
was
a while,
great.
yeah.
It was great having you on as a guest.
Yeah, thanks,
and
guys.
just reconnecting.
It's been,
like Jimmy and a couple of the other guys on here, I work all the time, and I'm just trying to scrape out a video when I have a moment, and I haven't been able to interact as much as I've wanted to lately. So it was really nice just to sit down and talk with you tonight and have you on the channel. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate being here.
And guys, Taylor's on the road to 800. If you haven't subbed him up, please go sub him up. He's getting to that marker, and we'll get him over there and hopefully get him up to that 1,000 marker.
You get me up to 1,000, I'll be insufferable.
Then he'll be able to
ads every tweet, every comic when I review.
Even more.
When he gets to 1,000, he'll be that much closer to his dream.
Yes,
of living
my
on
dream
the
of
road.
living in a van down by the river.
Yep.
Right?
and
I'm sort of not kidding. That's a little bit of a teaser for what I'm planning on doing. But go watch Bueller's channel. I'm going to copy everything he's doing. So.
And bravo to Nick for being Johnny on the spot with those links in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Nick is always working the links. He's a good one to have.
Jerry, I do not have a 0.5 shirt yet, but I can bang one out. So
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Golden Age 0.5.
There you go.
Heavy
0.5 connected cover.
Detached cover.
Lefty, thank you for subbing. I appreciate
Color
it.
retouch.
So,
yes, we
Taylor, we always let the guests say the last goodbye and lead us out. So,
guys, all right, yeah. Tomorrow night I'll be opening a whole bunch of that Spider-Man booth stuff on my channel live because I haven't done that in a long time, and turns out people watch that. And then a weekly trade paperback review on Tuesdays where I give it away a lot of the time. And then Wednesdays I have my either Wednesday evening or Thursday morning, depending on when I finish it. I have my weekly comic book review where I read a stack of comics about this thick every week, and I try and make it somewhat entertaining when I bitch about them because they mostly suck. So, but yeah, thanks for having me, everybody. I love you all, and don't be a dick, and let's make this super awkward now.
Right. Awkward ending. Awkward ending. Awkward